We're here at Educause2008 in Orlando, Florida. I'm here with Jessica Finnefrock, the Senior Vice President of Product Development with Blackboard Inc. And we're going to chat a little bit about what Blackboard's up to in the higher education space and talk about your NGen solution that's forthcoming and very exciting.
Excellent.
So perhaps tell me a little bit about the initiative and what the impetus was for NGen.
Sure. So let me tell you a little bit about myself first, maybe a way as a little bit of an intro. So I've been with Blackboard for almost 7 years, and I came to Blackboard from Prometheus, which is an open source cold fusion-based course management system. And I've been at Blackboard really as we've been really seeing, I think, a lot of the growth in the course management industry. So we had the fabulous merger with WebCT a few years ago, and so Next Generation is really about bringing exactly
being a Canadian publications.
That's right. So about bringing the best of Blackboard and WebCT together. So, and that's been true on the product development side, both from a core technology perspective, as well as even from a staff perspective. So we have a team in Vancouver. I have a team just north of Boston and Linfield that are original WebCT teams, as well as my team in DC. So we have this really blended group of people that's been part of bringing all of this together and working really closely with the faculty and students at all of our different institutions to understand really what's most important. And we've really focused on 3 different things. And the first is about delivering innovation by bringing the best of Blackboard and WebCT together. The second is about having a powerful, very flexible new user interface. And then the third is about having openness in the product and really making a continued push to say you should be able to integrate Blackboard with all those other great systems that you have on campus, but then increasingly just mix it up even more. So things like the new IMS LTI standard that allows people the promise of being able to plug tools from different systems, you know, a tool from Blackboard into a Moodle system or a Moodle tool into a Blackboard system, and to be able to really create that very rich course management
So
environment.
flexibility, Web 2.0 focus.
Definitely, and that's really about, in particular, I sort of see 3 big drivers when we think about the new user interface in particular for the product. And one is about helping people fundamentally move the bar in terms of their usage of Blackboard from a faculty perspective. So where we have new tools that make it much more efficient for faculty to get things done, you can move beyond faculty members who maybe are only putting a syllabus in a course management system today to getting them excited about using other kinds of efficiency tool like a new grade book that's much faster, that ultimately gets them excited about tools that can be meaningful from a student retention perspective, things like early warning systems and adaptive release that can really drive more meaningful content. And then on the student side, we really see 2 different kinds of pressures. And the first is that you have these adult learners, increasingly at a lot of schools, who are people often juggling, you know, a full-time job or a part-time job, and they're really very, very busy. So, you know, a story that I heard from a student at a focus group that we ran a while back was she said she's working full-time, she prints out all of her course material at her office, because that's where she's got her printer, but she's constantly in fear that her boss is going to catch her doing her schoolwork when she's, you know, supposed to be doing work. So one of the changes that we're adding is this idea of a notifications infrastructure. So she can get a text message or an email and get that alert when that content's been posted. And then she knows, at least when she's taking the risk to log into the system, the reward is right there and she's going to be able to get that assignment that she needs to print.
And that's very powerful, because I know we could have used that when I was in the master's program at Pepperdine, because we didn't get that heads up on the postings.
Right, and so then on the other flip, kind of to that end, is then the younger millennial learners are increasingly, they're very device-oriented students who are coming, you know, directly, in this case, typically from a high school environment to college. They've got their cell phones and they also have a notebook, but they're spending their time on lots of different other sites, whether that's MySpace or Facebook. They've got their iPhone. So we're also helping to drive a lot of things from Blackboard to those devices. And again, giving them those kinds of alerts so that you can say in that case, you know, give me a reminder 2 days out, 3 days out that I've got something due so that I can manage my time efficiently as a busy student.
So it sounds like you're really listening to the customer needs and addressing those. And learning's really evolving. It's not a 9 to 5 kind of proposition any longer. It's flexible learning is the future. So now I heard earlier in the day about a K-20 initiative. So that seems to be a different focus for you going forward.
Right.
Maybe perhaps you could touch on that.
Sure. Well, what we're seeing is, in some cases at the state level, so there's a lot of drivers that we have a big partnership with New Mexico where the government of New Mexico said they really wanted to standardize a platform and give e-learning capability across the state at the K through 12 level as well as the higher ed perspective. But it's really about fundamentally being able to tie initiatives that you have that are around student achievement from kindergarten through that higher ed experience and even beyond in terms of a lifelong learning perspective. So being able to understand how, the goals that you may have at a state level or even at a regional level, how are those being implemented? Are they successful? What things do you need to tweak, to evolve, to ultimately drive more student achievement in the
That's
system?
very exciting. I look forward to seeing the full rollout. And do you have any pilot sites in Canada at the moment for the NG?
We do. We have almost 50 beta clients right now with our very first release, which is going to be Blackboard 9, and that's on target for delivery later this year or early next year. And a few of those are in fact schools in Canada, and one of them we're hoping is actually going to go live in January.
Well, we're looking forward to perhaps following up and doing an interview with the school as well.
Yeah, that'd
So
be fabulous.
thank you so much for your
Excellent.
time.
Nice to talk to you.
Great.